Hi, I'm Reg Miller with Propertyrush. I'm here with Secret Millionaire Mike Greene, who last year participated in a local series in Peterborough. Now, I just wanted to ask you, because you're passionate about Peterborough, and basically what I wanted to get was a general opinion from you, because you've had businesses in other cities as well. Do you see that, you know, when a city starts to invest in its property assets and building its infrastructure and planning for that, like we've had a super hospital built, the plans for town centre to be changed about the university, etc. Do you not see that as a precursor for real growth sometimes in cities?
Well, in fact, the whole development of the university I'm quite excited about. I think that's going to bring more pride, if you like, and growth. I look at the developments going on with the station and the increasing number of trains going into London to enable better commuting.
Absolutely.
But also, if you look at London, a lot of the property, and we can get on to a different subject that way, is being bought by Russian and Chinese wealth. Now, that's often being bought by offshore businesses, which means they're not paying proper UK taxes and so on, so government aren't able to access funds from that. So you could argue that that's wrong, and getting investors to invest into, UK investors to invest in UK towns and cities is really important. But also, if you took the London effect, with Peterborough being 46, 48 minutes out on the fast trains, what a lot of people are doing is either through necessity, cashing in and moving out further, or through quality of life, because you know what, it's more countryside here, there's less crime, there's smaller classrooms. However much we might think there's challenges, there's a lot more in some of the challenged areas of London. But they're able to sell a house, buy a nice house out here, but get quick and easy access in. A lot of those things actually tick the boxes why Peterborough is a good place to be, will continue to be, and should continue to grow and thrive, as long as there is the investment in that kind of infrastructure.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things I just wanted to touch on, because it's something that we're working on in terms of a community-based project. I mean, would you welcome more private individuals who would do more within the community to help housing generally, rather than just relying on the government or housing associations, which are stretched themselves in terms of that?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, anywhere where you can marry mixed needs together is of benefit. So, you know, if there was a scale, I was very much commercially at this end of the scale, and charitably chuck some money at it when I could or was asked, if you like. I suppose in wanting to change my life a bit, I probably swam the other way and put too much time into charity to the point that it's almost becoming another job. So I need to find my balance. Okay. But what I have done in seeing those extremes, if you like, is to say, if you can bring together investors that are desperately looking for somewhere that's going to give them a reasonable return on one hand, because let's face it, 2% in the bank, you know, and even that is probably for locking it away so it's inaccessible.
And then it's being eroded by inflation, taxation, etc.
Exactly, versus 7, 8, 9% in property and in social housing and so on, is very attractive for an investor.
Basically, just explaining, we originally started this to help our investors to invest in property on a wider basis, people who are busy, who wanted a different asset class. But actually, through the rental agent, Let's Rush, we've seen how important it is to provide stable homes for people, decent homes for people. And that really, I think, goes hand in hand with the investment, because so many clients, you talk about corporate social responsibility, but on a basic level, actually investors have a sense that they're actually providing decent homes for people, and that fills them with a sense of giving back to a community.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to make some money earlier in my life on property, and then I lost some and made more from property and so on. But you know, you look, one of the things that as you gain wealth that you become very aware of is, you know, separate that a little bit. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. We learn that. One of those baskets for me has always been property, and if we look at the different baskets, whether it's shares, property, your own business, banks and so on, property has been one of the consistent staples, if you like, of any investment portfolio.
Yeah.
Now, you know, is it going to grow massively in years to come? I don't know. I don't think it's going to go backwards much more though. And certainly, if you look at property, and certainly letting property, it gives good returns, much better, 2 or 3 or 4 times the banks. Now, absolutely. I also think it's interesting where you're coming from perhaps a lot of investment into what would be classed as social housing.
Yep.
And making them much more attractive and presentable, as a lot of investors are becoming scared by shares, disillusioned by banks, not just because they pay terrible rates, but because of all that we've heard about huge bonuses and so on, want to kind of take control themselves. You know, property should and could form part of a good mixed portfolio, and you know what? I think it makes people feel good to know that they can get a decent return, but also give a home to somebody, and a nice home, if it's done to the scale that I saw on some of your videos.
Thank you very much for joining me today, Mike.